I want to prosper. I want to prosper. I want to prosper. I want to prosper. Hey, everybody. Welcome to E-commerce Stories Philippines edition. So great to be back again with everyone. And we are going to have a really cool episode today. And I think what's going to make this episode really cool is a lot of people think about, this edition and episode around e-commerce. But today we're going to really shift gears and we're going to talk about real estate. But what's the connection between real estate and e-commerce? Well, the fact is pretty much every industry is going digital, and so is real estate. So to help us understand and explore today's episode, I've invited the one and only amazing Mitch Razote, realtor, the number one friend in real estate that I and many of you should have. Mitch, how's it going?
Okay, thank you. Thank you, brother. Everything's good, all good. We're excited for 2024 and we can't wait to sell properties, to list properties and to meet new clients. Everything looks good for us. We're excited.
Well, that's awesome because my mom, everybody has a tiger mom, in the
Yeah.
right? And I remember her telling me, "Oh, anak, may job ka na. Bili ka ng real estate, buy a house or something." And
Okay.
I never, I would always say, "Oh, mom, I can't afford it. This is my first job." And she would say, "Oh, son, just stop drinking and partying and you can afford real estate." And then she finally closed her lecture to me is you can't afford not to buy real estate. So I love this topic. And
Yes, yes.
I've been following and watching you and what you do to transform your business.
Moms know best.
Yes, they do. If we did everything that they said, the whole world would be just a much better place. But
Exactly.
I think that might be a different episode. Um,
Right.
so yeah, maybe we could start off, and if you could tell everybody, how did you get into real estate? What was your background? Did somebody inspire you? Did you just find the real estate business and industry by accident? Love to hear
Mhm.
your story there.
Oh, okay. Um, we started as investors actually, around mid 2000. We didn't have a lot of money. Okay, we were just setting up ourselves. We didn't have a lot of savings at that time, but we wanted to buy properties. Maybe my mom told me about it, like your mom. But it seemed like it was impossible to do at that time with no savings. So we just research and research and research and found out that, hey, you can buy properties by giving 5% down payment. You can already move in and just um, amortize for 2 years. And then on the third year, you can just um, apply for a loan to pay off the balance. So that's exactly what we did. We bought our first condominium property in at the time in Eastwood. Okay. And it looked so, so luxurious at the time. We were looking at the lobby and we were like shopping for condominiums. And we were saying, not there. That's expensive. Hindi natin kaya dyan. Mukhang mahal. But, we ended up buying there. So you can't tell. You just have to dive into it, go for it, and just explore. And there's nothing to lose if you call and ask and inquire. Everything starts from an inquiry, right?
Yeah.
So that was the first condominium that we bought in the city. But prior to that, we were able to purchase a small house in Laguna Bel Air, which was our first investment ever.
Yeah.
It it looked like a dollhouse. It was 100 square meter lot with a 75 square meter floor area. It really looked like a dollhouse. We enjoyed living there for a while, but I'm a city girl. After a few years, I couldn't stand it anymore. So we were like, okay, have it leased. We met a broker. We had it leased. We discovered that we could make money out of it. And then later on sold it. We sold it to another client after leasing it for I think 2 years. We made money from leasing. We made money from selling it. So we discovered that, hey, there's money here.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a lot of money to invest, but you can make a lot of money if you start investing in just one property, roll over the profits, keep buying and buying. And, before you know it, you have 5, 10 properties making money for you, working for you.
That's
Diba?
cool.
So when we had like enough properties in our portfolio, and we were so in love with real estate and we were so passionate about it, we said, why not make this into a business? So initially, I joined a property developer to try it out,
Mm.
to learn the ropes. But during that time, uh, I think that was around 2015, I heard that you needed a license to sell properties. So I quit that job, blindfolded. I quit the job. I lost everything. I lost my allowances, the prestige and everything to study real estate and to take the board exam. So when I passed, that's when we started setting up our brokerage company with Dennis.
You're better, Dennis.
You're Tokayo.
My
Yeah, yeah.
buddy.
So it started there. It started with a passion, started with a dream. It started with, we started small, with nothing really, no savings, but we did it.
That's
So up to
cool.
now, we still buy properties.
That's great. So it's like
Yeah,
it's your business and it's your
it's
hobby and your own
it's
investment.
it's yes, exactly. It's our business. It's our profession. It's our hobby. It's our passion. It's everything. It's what we think of when we wake up and what we think about before we go to sleep. It's
Well,
like we're
that's
in love. We're in love with it.
yeah, in a way, uh, I think there's something to love about looking around and shopping for real estate. I don't know if
Exactly.
I'm weird, but
Yes, I
it,
believe you 100%.
yeah, it's kind of cool, even if you're not buying, just to look at,
Exactly. Window
signs.
shopping. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
addicting. It's so
And
nice to see nice properties. You can compare how this one is better than the other. You can give your honest comments to your buyers. Even if that comment will not lead to a sale, it's okay. For as long as you're honest to goodness, telling them the truth. If you buy this, it's like this, like that. If so maybe that's why they say that we're different from the others because we're acting or we're working as investors as well, not just as realtors. We're not out to make a sale all the time.
you're just not going for the transaction,
No,
right?
no, no, no. Because it will come back to you. We That's the last thing we want to think to happen to us. Um, People getting back to us, telling us, "Hey, you said it was gonna be like this and that. It's not a good purchase. It's so noisy. You didn't tell us about this and that." So we don't want that. We want happy clients.
Yeah, and I'm sure, real estate is obviously a huge investment, so there's probably
Exactly.
a lot of feedback that comes
Life
along.
changing. Yeah, it's life changing.
Yeah. Before we jump into all these other things about, finding a realtor that you trust and how it is to buy real estate in the Philippines, because I want to dive into those things. But before we get there, um, I want to know more about your journey and how you got here. So,
Mhm, mhm.
so you guys were investors at that time. So were you, did you have another job at that time when you were kind of just buying properties and
Yeah, yeah. We had an entertainment company. We were supplying musicians to five-star hotels and casinos here and abroad, and we were managing artists like bands and TV personalities.
well, that sounds really fun too.
Yeah, yeah. And there's a synergy there
What's
because
the synergy?
when you meet people, when you have an event because you have a band, your band is playing in a five-star hotel. You meet people, and these people could be your leads.
Okay.
So there's a great synergy there. But when pandemic happened, we had to close down our entertainment company because that was the first industry that got affected, the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
So
I
we
didn't know that you
stopped.
had that business for that long of a period of time, and
Yeah.
I didn't know that you stopped it during
We
the.
we were running it for about 14 years.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. That was our bread and butter.
I see.
And
And
imagine if we didn't have the real estate business, wala na. We're
yeah.
dead.
Now, what are your thoughts on, should someone work for a developer first? Let's say I was interested, but and there might be others out there. I mean, should you learn the ropes from a developer, or do you think, you maybe work for one of those, big brokerage houses and
Mm-hmm.
firms, or maybe do you work with a boutique,
Uh-huh.
broker like yourself, or just go all in and start your own? Any opinions? Obviously, no right or wrong there, but what are the pros and cons?
Oh, well, that's the good thing about real estate. You have so many options. It's endless, endless possibilities. Uh, well, as a real estate professional, it depends where you want to go because um each kind of practice is different. Like if you join a developer, it's different from general brokerage. It's so different. In If you join a developer, you only have the option to offer what your developer is offering,
Yeah, their product
right?
is
Their
designed.
products only. And you learn mostly the product knowledge. You only just stick to the product knowledge. You don't get to learn the law behind it, the
Mhm.
accounting, the documentations, because there are departments who can manage those things for you. You just sell. You just know your product.
I
And you're
see.
selling a concept most of the time. It's concept selling. You don't have it yet. It's
Gotcha.
pre-selling. Okay, so if you like doing that, if you don't want the hassle of documentation, if you don't want to do other things like title transfers, you just want to sell the property, you stick with the developer. You
Gotcha.
go abroad, they send you abroad on road trips, on road shows, right? So it could be fun. If you're younger, maybe you can just start off with that. But which I did. I tried. I joined two developers and learned the ropes from there. But when we started our general brokerage, it's so different. Um, it's well, you learn more with general brokerage because you do everything
Yeah. You have to know
from
the market, right?
everything.
Competition.
Exactly. Marketing,
You,
listing,
well, you're
title
running,
transfer,
and there's the
everything.
entire business side
Right.
that you didn't have to run before.
Exactly. So for me, if you really want to go serious about it, number one, get a license or get accredited. Number two, just go for it. If you want to be here for the long haul, do general brokerage because you will serve your clients better because you don't have to offer what the developer is offering. You're not limited to that. There are
Now,
no biases.
where do you guys focus? Is there a region, an area, a type of real estate property? And who are the, the what's a typical profile of the customers that you serve in the areas that you represent?
Okay. One of the reasons why we started this business is we want to enjoy. We don't want to get too stressed. It's already stressful enough, right? So we only do Makati and BGC for now. We focus our efforts more on Makati and BGC. We don't do a lot of the pre-sellings, so we really do general brokerage and mostly condominiums. Okay, if there are good offers outside the city, we have to like it to be able to sell it.
I
We
see.
don't believe in sell it all, get everything. We have to believe in the property. Why
Gotcha.
sell something that you're not confident about, right? Like a product that you don't really believe in. Why sell it to somebody else? Tell me, right? So
Good point.
that's how we operate. We're not really money driven. We don't sometimes, we forget to collect because we're more focused on the task on hand, how to finish the job, make them happy. We're more excited in the journey.
Well, in a way, especially on the secondary market and in those areas like BGC and Makati, while obviously real estate is a big investment, you know, I mean, where people live is part of their dream,
Correct.
you know?
Selling
And
dreams. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's life changing. So it's fun if the latest sale that we did, um, the buyer was based in Singapore and she never saw the property. It
Wow.
was just the brother who saw it. But she was so dead specific about having a view of the park.
So
It's
real
all or
quick,
nothing.
I've heard many stories from you and seen them on your social media
Mm-hmm.
about these customers from all over the world and
Yeah, yeah.
locally that you're helping. I've referred you some great customers and
Right, right.
they've all been
Thank
super
you.
happy with you. I
Thank
wish
you.
I found you when I was buying my property, but how do you find people? Like, can you talk about more about your what how do you run your marketing? What's your just some key ideas that you
Mm-hmm.
have there? Because, you know, all kinds of business owners, not just real estate, people struggle with marketing. And
Mm-hmm.
they think that there's you know, a uh, a magic potion or a secret weapon
Mm-hmm.
to marketing and generating leads and whatnot. And what are your thoughts? How did you go from, as you were saying and describing, starting from nothing and no savings and
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
real
yeah.
expense, just getting in there, and now you've got international clients. BGC and Makati aren't inexpensive places to live. How do you go about marketing, building trust, and all that?
Number one, you have to establish your credibility first. If they don't see you, they don't know you. You don't exist, right? So from the very beginning, we knew already we we have to be credible and trustworthy. So how do you do that? Number one, have a website. Yay, Prosperna. Diba? Develop a good website. Number one, because that makes you more professional than the others. Right? Now that you have your website, what else? You have to be all over these platforms. You don't always have to sell properties. You don't always have to post properties. You have to post yourself, your achievements, because it attracts people. Like we're all over. We're on LinkedIn. We have Google My Business, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We have a page. So all those platforms, you have to be visible. And not only that, you have to be um, consistently posting, deliberately posting, not just anything, but it has to be planned. You don't just post whatever you want to post. It has to be deliberate. It has to be planned. It has to be timed. So we've been doing that since we started in 2016 because of our previous business, the entertainment business, which is heavy on marketing. Because we
Yeah.
were marketing our bands, our gigs, right? So it kind of got stuck to me. So I was treating our properties like our bands. So I was promoting them like our bands. Like I was inviting them to our gigs, ganyan, promoting our gig schedule. So it came naturally.
That's
So without even without so much effort, it came naturally. So there, we just made a constant effort to market ourselves every single day, deliberately, because nothing happens in coincidence, right? It has to be deliberate. So
Did
every
you hear
day,
our nation? Nothing happens by
by
coincidence.
coincidence. So we were there, out there, promoting ourselves, promoting our listings. So people would see us and believe in us and trust us. Because even before they deal with you, they will Google you. If you're not seen on Google, you won't be considered. You won't be, you're not there. You're invisible, right? You're a
Yeah. So,
non-entity.
Mitch, there was actually a point in time, and please, this is positive criticism. Well, I thought you guys were like you started becoming a travel blogger, right? I
Yeah.
said, you weren't talking about real estate. You were inviting people to your life.
Right, right.
That you were doing to build, and I mean, I'm guessing to create a connection so that someone was going to talk to you. They're like,
Correct.
they at least have some idea, you know, that you're an open book. And,
Exactly,
you
exactly.
know,
Um, that's content. Marketing without content is like shooting a gun without bullets,
yeah,
right? So that's part of our content strategy. So many people want to talk about traveling. So many, like for example, for us, our market is more or less on the mid to the high end level. So what are their likes? Where do they go? What do? They travel. So that's where we are. We try to join them and be one of them, be like them,
there
because
you
people want to deal with people they like, people who
yeah.
are like them, people who travel, people who 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 are successful, who are happy, right? It attracts good vibes when you're a happy person.
There you go. Attract some good vibes.
Yeah.
That is
Be
golden.
happy. No matter what problems you have, don't show it. Don't show it, especially online. Don't do your dirty laundry online. Don't, I see a lot of people cursing or never do that.
Ranting.
Never ranting, never do that. Not online.
Yeah. Well, let's
What
talk
else?
about that, leading into the trust concept, right? Because um, I'm, but to keep it clean, I'll be the one to kind of bring it out, right?
Sure,
And
sure.
you can, correct me if I'm wrong. But when I moved to the Philippines, I was uh surprised, right, on how weird or somewhat messed up the process is to buy
Yeah,
real estate.
right, right.
Um, I found and ran into a lot of people supposedly listing properties that they were representing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, if you're a serious buyer, you're like, okay, let me see the documentation, the
Mm-hmm.
title. I would like to schedule a formal meeting with, the owner. And then it's like trying to get a meeting with the owner with an offer letter and to negotiate. It's like, well, I got to talk to my friend who's a banker and it's one of their customers. And I'm like, what?
Huh?
Like, why are you listing this property? And, this whole thing about licensed brokers, people,
Yeah,
not licensed. I don't know the whole thing about that, but uh, what's going on in the real estate world around that? Because whether you're selling properties or the food business, which I mean, nobody wants to put food from someone that they don't trust into their
right,
body
right,
with
right.
friends, or buying expensive, clothing or whatnot online. Trust is important, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
So how do you incorporate trust and separate yourself from the competition, especially, and I believe a lot of the reason why there's issues like what I had described is maybe due to some of the laws and whatnot in real estate.
Yeah, number one problem here in the Philippines is, there are a lot of unlicensed individuals doing real estate.
Okay.
Uh, all fairness, since we started in 2016, there have been a lot of, efforts and movements from different real estate organizations to fight this battle with colorums. We call them colorums because they're not licensed. And there have been efforts, joint efforts with the government agencies to catch these people. Though, especially during the pandemic, people were just posting, unlicensed individuals posting real estate properties, selling online, scamming people here and there,
Ah,
Yeah, so many scammers. Rentals, sales, so many. It's so easy to create a page,
that's
make it look
horrible.
good. Yeah,
The
make it look good and try to sell whatever and get money from people. So, it's very difficult in the Philippines to police that. But at least there are, small efforts, and we see good-hearted people passionately helping the industry and trying to police all those color rooms. But it's gonna take a long time to battle this. But if you're not gonna start somewhere, it's not gonna happen. So baby steps, baby steps. Um, One thing that's also kind of challenging is not having that multi-listing system. There's no MLS. There's no MLS here. It's so difficult to get data.
So
Your
let's
comparables. Oh my
let's explore
God.
that, right? I've
It's
had a lot
crazy.
I've had a lot of people, and us being in the tech side, you know,
Can you
ask
help us?
well, a lot of people have asked us to help them, right? And we've been through a lot of conversations with all kinds of organizations and, you know, government officials, this, that, and the other. I still can't grasp why. And honestly, if I could just be direct, I just like I gave up on it, right?
Yeah, yeah. I don't
Um,
blame you.
but you've lived the industry, you're committed to it, with or without an MLS, you've been
Right.
successful. So what do you think is stopping the industry from embracing technology like the MLS? I mean, you're doing your own thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Embracing technology, but
Well, it's maybe too many people with different agendas. There is no unity. There are different organizations wanting to serve their own agenda. So how can you do that? You have to have one goal, one clean, honest goal to make it work.
and what do you think that goal should be in your own words? I don't know if you thought about that, but
Organize the listings, make life easier for everyone. You need a data of the latest properties sold in this area. Push a button and you get it. How many days on market, what was sold, how much it was sold. It will
well,
make our lives
so
easier.
how do you go about doing that? Because my experience, real estate comparables has been a basic requirement of evaluating.
Exactly. So we do it manually. We search. Wow, same area, blah, blah, blah. But it's not also accurate because the listing price is different from the price it was sold.
Yeah, and a lot of people
Definitely.
don't for some reason are scared to tell you. They don't want to say. They don't want to
Exactly.
share.
Exactly. So we just get at least five comparables and present to them that it's this, this, this is. So we have to be within this range. We just average it. It's difficult. It's really difficult. But you
Yeah.
have to do it.
Well, I think in terms of the point you made about one goal, in my words, I would say, real estate is a great life-changing opportunity no matter what side of the industry you're on.
Right.
And as a country, as a global economy, we should make real estate accessible to every person. It's your home is a basic right.
Exactly.
And it's just without creating that equal type of playing field, especially with data, you're going to get winners and losers. It's going to be very bifurcated.
Hmm.
And that isn't good. Everybody should deserve to have a great experience and
Yeah, yeah.
be on the winning side, you
It's
know.
it's not only beneficial for us realtors. It's also going to be good for number one, the customers, the clients,
Yeah, yeah.
you know?
Now, you talked about the MLS as one of the challenges and competing against folks who may not be licensed. Just along that topic of challenges, just in the last year, I'm sure in the many years there's been many challenges.
Hmm.
What's been your biggest challenge so far?
Uh, you know what? Since we get a lot of our clients online, it's profiling, due diligence, and just making sure that they're the right people and they're not scammers and they're motivated, serious buyers. That's the difficult part of our job because you don't know them. They know you because they see you online.
Well, that's very interesting. There's all kinds of potential challenges there, right? I've even read stories. I mean, number one, it can be a security problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
For
Yeah.
the property owner, if you're a female, right? Or male, any kind. It could be, and then at the same time, uh, just down here in the South, like every few months, do you handle rentals as well?
Maybe 10% of our business is rentals. We just service our old clients with rental properties and maintain the ones that we have, but we don't seek for rental properties right now. Not right now.
I was just curious because, there's always a horror story every few months in almost every neighborhood of
Exactly.
where, someone rented a house and there was an abduction,
Yes.
and then you
Yes.
find out that there was a business being run in there that
Uh-huh. I
was
think I saw
illegal.
that. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of issues, I guess, around that. But I mean, I assume, that's the homework that you do.
Mm-hmm.
I would expect
Exactly.
my broker to do for me, right?
Yeah.
Is to vet out not just, me that I'm ready to sell or rent, but, qualify,
Qualifying clients.
right, prospects. So,
Yes, yes. The reason why we don't do a lot of rentals is fine, you can do your own due diligence, research, call people who know them. We usually Google them, look for them on Facebook and LinkedIn, and we have common friends. We call and ask, do you know this guy? Blah blah blah.
yeah.
But in rentals, it's different. You see them, they're clean, they smell good, they have nice clothes, but you don't know the way they live once they rent the property. It's different. So you can only do so much
Yeah,
because you
anybody
don't
can
know
look
how
good
they
in a
live.
minute,
Yeah, you
right?
don't know. So it's difficult. Selling is easier because you do due diligence. Can they afford? Are they good people? Do they have a good background? Are they capable of buying the property? After that, when you're done qualifying, pre-qualifying them, they pay, you fix the documents, we're done.
Yeah.
You don't wait a whole year for them to do something stupid or, something crazy that they would, all of a sudden break things, trash the house or anything.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, well, every business has, their skeletons or every industry.
Right, right.
But,
We just choose our stress.
yeah. Well, on the bright side, you mentioned something interesting, right? you talked about getting customers or people finding you online, right? What percentage, or just broadly speaking, because in the past I would hear real estate people say, "Oh, I only work on referrals," or "I get all of my business from referrals." And I'm sure if you're good, you'll get referrals, but
Right.
you're everywhere online. How much business do you get from online, or what's your idea for, do you plan out how much business you're trying to generate online in terms of leads? How sophisticated are you from your digital marketing
I would say out of 100, maybe 80% is from
80%
online.
of your inquiries start online?
Online. And then from that 80%, maybe another 40% refer
Yeah.
once we close the deal. So it's been good. This year we've gotten a lot of referrals. We've gotten a lot of repeat businesses.
Well,
And
referrals are great because
yeah,
that's like icing on the cake. But
yes,
referrals, it's not in your control. You can give great service, but ultimately people have to go out of their way. So
exactly.
40% to get referrals is great, but
Yes,
digital marketing you can control.
yes. Plus, we don't just put ourselves out on social media and all those marketing platforms. We have a great CRM
Yeah.
system in place, which apparently you have introduced us to. We only started doing that CRM thing because of you,
Thank
thanks
you.
to you. Because before the pandemic, we never had a database, never had a database. But since during the pandemic, we had nowhere to go, nothing to do. We were like going crazy in the house. We started building our database, and we followed your advice. You recommended this CRM platform, remember?
That's right.
And then from there, we improved. We got something even better and more focused on real estate,
There
which
you
is
go.
follow-up was. So we've
Yeah.
been doing that. We've been successfully doing our nurture programs. Um, we were able to segment our clients between cold, hot, and warm, and apply whatever action plan is suitable for that type of client. So we've been nurturing them and getting a lot of good responses because they keep coming back because we're always emailing them. I mean, it's automated. But at least we're always top of mind when they plan to come back to Manila. Because we've been emailing them for a year. They would say, "Hey, I'm gonna be in Manila. I'm looking for property. Can you show me some?" So we've gotten a lot of those because
That's
of,
what that I used to do when I was living abroad. I would save those emails, and then, for the people that were consistent, that gave me the feeling that I could depend on them,
right,
you
right.
know.
So we
So
have a good nurture system through our CRM platform.
so you've got your website, your CRM, your
Yeah,
social media
yeah,
channels going, your nurturing process.
yes.
You are like
Our
a full stack tech company,
right.
the real estate business.
We have our virtual walkthroughs, which Dennis studied and did on his own. So
Nice.
we're already doing virtual walkthroughs even during the pandemic, and we've managed to do our own drone shots, which is
Cool.
being done also by Dennis. So on the production side, it's his ball game.
That's cool. So, how, can you give us an idea of the size of your team and business? Because I talk to a lot of people, and some people honestly they make excuses. I don't have time, or I can't do this all on my own, and I just think it's just excuses more than anything. But
Yeah.
how big is your team?
You know what? Our dreams are much bigger than the excuses in the world. We don't have a big team. You'll be surprised. In the office, full time, there are only three of us.
Whoa.
Myself, Dennis, and our viewing assistant, full time. So when I say marketing, it's just me doing all those marketing stuff. And then Dennis is the production guy. He does our walkthroughs, our home tours, our drone shots. But everything marketing is me. Listing is me. Updating the website, it's me. Doing all our posters, Canva, everything. The automation of our nurture plans, CRM.
You're awesome. Be careful. You might be marketing yourself as like the next VP of marketing for a real estate company.
But I love my job so much. I've gotten offers, job offers, but I will never leave this business because I love it. I may be overworked, but I love it. It's a hobby for me. Like when I during my downtime, believe it or not, I sit down on the couch, watch TV, mindlessly doing posters of our listings using Canva. That it relaxes me. So it's weird, but I think it's already in the blood. It's in
Well,
the
that's
system.
the kind of commitment and that's the kind of love that anyone should have with whatever they spend their time on.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Love your business and it will love you back.
Love you. I love that. I'm gonna take
Yeah.
that and borrow it. Well, that's really,
Yeah.
I can really sense it. It really comes through. And I'm sure that's the kind of chemistry and magnet that people have that want to work with you as their real estate expert. So, as we wrap up, I'm curious, like, so you've done so many great things so far. It sounds like you've got a good process. You've invested in technology. You
Mhm.
love what you're doing. What's in store for the future of Mitch Razote?
Dennis and I have been planning. Um, we we're comfortable doing this. We're happy doing this, but you don't grow in your comfort zone. So we want to do a lot of networking activities this year, both here and abroad.
Oh,
We want to network with the National Association of Realtors. We've recently renewed our membership, and we want to join international conventions. There is a good convention being held abroad in the US by Follow Up Boss with a lot of great speakers and resource persons where we can get the best practices and eventually our clients will be the ones who will be benefiting from those learnings. So we want to improve more and we want to go international. We want to learn the international standards of not just marketing, but taking care of our clients, servicing them, listing properties, maybe go as far as AI is concerned, you know,
hey, there you go.
go that way. So there's still so much to learn and improve on. And we're so excited to do it this year. But of course, we're gonna be traveling as well.
Of course.
You have to reward yourself. You can't just keep working and working. For us, for Dennis and I, it's a non-negotiable thing. We have to travel at least once a year, by hook or by crook.
That's awesome. Well, Prosper Nation, there you have it. Mitch Razote, realtor extraordinaire. I'm going to quote you here. Thank you for joining us and sharing your story. The big takeaway that I heard is love what you do and your business will love you back.
Yeah,
Well, thanks a
exactly.
lot, Mitch. Appreciate it. I know we'll see
Thank
each other
you so
more.
much. Yeah, we have to have coffee soon.
Definitely. And I'm sure you're gonna have an amazing year. Say hi to Dennis.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's here. He's
Dennis.
listening. Dennis is here.
Hey, what's up, buddy? I love that guy.
Yeah, he loves you too.
That's awesome. Well, thanks again. Have a
Thank
great year.
you.
More power, more success.
I'll see you
Take
soon.
care.
Right. Bye. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, Prosper Nation. Thanks for joining us on another episode of Prosperna e-commerce stories, where we learn and share success stories of e-commerce businesses and leaders. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe. My name is Dennis Velasco, founder and CEO of Prosperna. See ya.